Hello, Tagum City! Welcome to Salida TeleRadyo of La Filipina National High School. I am your teacher host, Teacher Giselle G. Wong. Hello sa atong mga suking tigpaminaw sa number 1 station diri sa atong dakbayan, ang 98.3 Gold FM, ang radyo astig ng Tagum City. Kuyawan no? Hello po sa atong mga viewers sa atong school's official Facebook page. And now, I encourage all of you to sit back and be ready with your paper and pen, for we are about to start another scientific journey together with our teacher broadcaster, Teacher Janica R. Candido, as she discusses about how to determine phases of matter. I will now turn you over to Teacher Janica.
Hello students! How are you? Are you excited for another scientific discussion for today? Join me, your teacher broadcaster for today, Teacher Janica Candido, as we discuss another lesson in Grade 8 Science about matter. So sit back and relax and join me in another episode of Salida TeleRadyo of La Filipina National High School. Are you ready to watch another episode of Science and Chill with me? Great! Our topic for today is all about the phase changes of matter. Are you familiar with this? Phase changes of matter are also called as physical changes of matter. How does matter changes its phase? Before we discuss our topic, let me tell you our objective for today. Explain physical changes in terms of the arrangement and motion of atoms and molecules. Now get your pen and paper so you can write all the things that you will learn from this lesson. Let's start. Matter, as discussed on your previous lesson, is everything around you. It is anything that has mass and a volume. Matter takes up space and has mass, and it is composed of very small particles beyond what your eyes can see. Matter has 3 states: solid, liquid, and gas. First is solid. Solid with tightly packed particles, almost not moving. Liquid with definite volume but has no definite shape, and it has loosely packed molecules. And the last is gas, which takes the volume and shape of the container, and its molecules are free moving. Before we proceed with the lesson proper, let's have an activity first, entitled Guess the Word. I am going to give you a moving picture with the scrambled letters, and you tell me what word is it. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to answer, and when you hear the sound, that means time is up. Are you ready? Okay, let's start. Picture number 1. Your time starts now. Time is up. The correct answer is melting. Very good. Let's go to picture number 2. Your time starts now. Time is up. The correct answer is boiling. And the next picture, picture number 3, your time starts now. Time is up. The correct answer is freezing. Very good. Did you get all the items correctly? Very good. Congratulations. Now that you already have an idea about the topic, let's continue our discussion. What is change? It is a verb that means to make or become different. Change implies making either an essential difference, often amounting to a loss of original identity, or a substitution of one thing for another. It can be physical or chemical. I have here examples of pictures of different changes. Picture number 1. What do you see? Yes, That is a melting chocolate, and that implies a physical change. Another example. What do you see? Correct! A freezing ice is an example of a physical change too. And picture 3 is a boiling water. Boiling water also shows a physical change. So the mentioned examples all showed a physical change or phase change. What is a physical change? A physical change or phase change is when matter changes from one state, solid, liquid, gas, to another without a change in chemical composition. It could be either solid to liquid, liquid to gas, or gas to solid, and so. Example is a melting ice. So next question is, what are the physical or phase changes? Number 1 is melting, or one of the most common phase change among all. Melting is a phase change where a solid turns into a liquid. Melting occurs when a solid is heated and turns to liquid. The particles in a solid gain enough energy to overcome the bonding forces holding them firmly in place. Typically, during melting, the particles start to move about, staying close to their neighboring particles, then move more freely. Examples are the following. We have melted ice cream, we have melted ice, and we have melted candle. Another example is, pag ibili ninyo inyong ice cream in your living room with a room temperature, what happens to your ice cream? It starts to melt or it melts because there is a change in temperature. And then we have freezing. Freezing is a phase change where a liquid turns into solid. When a liquid is cooled, the average energy of the molecules decreases. At some point, the amount of heat removed is great enough that the attractive forces between molecules draw the molecules together and the liquid freezes to solid. Example, ibutang ninyo yung water sa freezer. What happens is that there is a change in temperature sa liquid na inyong ibutang, so your water becomes an ice, from liquid to solid. Another examples are the pictures presented on the screen. And then we have evaporation. Evaporation is a phase change where a liquid turns into a gas. Evaporation happens when a liquid substance becomes a gas, and when water is heated, it evaporates. The molecules move and vibrate so quickly that they escape into the atmosphere as molecules of water vapor. Example is ibutang ninyo inyong water under the presence of heat. Your water boils, and after some time, you can see that your liquid turns into gas, or it evaporates, and that is evaporation. So, another examples are the pictures presented on the screen. Another phase change is condensation. It is a phase change where a gas turns into a liquid. Condensation happens when molecules in a gas cool down. As the molecules lose heat, they lose energy and slow down. They move closer to other gas molecules. Finally, these molecules collect together to form a liquid. Example is, an empty container is left in a place not for too long. The gas inside the container changes into liquid and produces droplets of water. Murag magsingot-singot. And then we have sublimation. Sublimation is a phase change where a solid turns into a gas. When energy is transferred to dry ice, the solid carbon dioxide does not melt to liquid carbon dioxide. Instead, the solid changes directly to a gas. This process is called sublimation. Sublimation occurs when molecules of a solid move fast enough to overcome the attractions from other molecules and becomes a gas. Examples are the pictures presented on the screen, a dry ice. And lastly, we have deposition. Deposition is a phase change where a gas turns into solid. It is the phase transition in which gas transforms into solid without passing through the liquid phase. For deposition to occur, thermal energy or heat energy must be removed from a gas. When the air becomes cold enough, water vapor in the air surrounding the leaf loses enough thermal energy to change into a solid. So example is the leaf. Okay. Another question, is a phase change a chemical or physical change? Answer, a phase change is a physical change because the particles are the same before and after the phase change. So meaning there are no changes in its chemical composition. Additional information. When matter changes between the phases from solid to liquid and liquid to gas, is energy added or absorbed or released or given off? Answer is, when matter changes between the phases from solid to gas, energy must be added for each phase transition because the particles move faster in each phase. Another example, solid plus heat energy turns into liquid. Okay, another example is liquid plus heat energy is equal to gas. Thus, solid plus heat energy is equal to liquid and liquid plus heat energy is equal to gas. That means that heat energy is being absorbed in the situations presented. Another set of examples. When heat energy is subtracted from the particles of gas, it becomes liquid. Or gas minus heat energy is equal to liquid. And when heat energy is subtracted from the particles of liquid, it becomes solid. Okay, thus, when heat is being subtracted to gas, it becomes liquid. Same with when heat is subtracted to liquid, it becomes solid. That means that heat energy is being given off in the situations presented. Now, are you ready for another activity? Let us test your knowledge on what you have learned in today's lesson with an activity entitled, What's the Matter? Instruction. You're going to choose the letter of the correct answer. I will read the question twice and you have 5 seconds to answer. And when you hear the sound, then time is up. Okay, ready? Let's start. Number 1. What is matter made up of? Again, number 1. What is matter made up of? Letter A, water droplets. Letter B, particles. Letter C, cells. And letter D, metal pieces. Your time starts now. Time is up. The correct answer is letter B, particles. Question number 2. Melting involves what type of phase change? Again, number 2, melting involves what type of phase change? A, liquid to solid. B, liquid to gas. C, gas to liquid. And letter D, solid to liquid. Your time starts now. Time is up. Answer is letter D, solid to liquid. Okay. And question number 3. Steam coming off of a lake is an example of. Again, steam coming off of a lake is an example of. Letter A, deposition. Letter B, condensation. Letter C, vaporization. And letter D, sublimation. Your time starts now. Time is up. The correct answer is letter C, vaporization. Number 4. On a cold day, a person can see their breath. This is an example of what phase change? Again, On a cold day, a person can see their breath. This is an example of what phase change. Letter A, melting. Letter B, evaporation. Letter C, condensation. And letter D, freezing. Your time starts now. Time is up. The correct answer is letter C, condensation. Question number 5. During a phase change, what happens to the temperature of a substance? Again, during a phase change, what happens to the temperature of a substance? Letter A, increases. Letter B, decreases. Letter C, stays the same. And letter D, either increases or decreases depending on the change. Your time starts now. Time is up. The correct answer is letter D, either increases or decreases depending on the change. That's it. Did you learn something today? We are down to the summary of the lesson. Phase change is when matter changes from one state, solid, liquid, and gas, to another without a change in chemical composition. Phase changes includes melting, freezing, evaporation, condensation, sublimation, and deposition. Assignment for today. Now that you're already familiar with the different phase changes, your assignment is to find as many examples of them in real world as you can. Write it in a sheet of paper and present it to your science teacher. Okay? So that's it, and that would be all for today. I hope that you have learned some interesting things from our discussion. Once again, this is your teacher broadcaster, Teacher Janica, reminding you that the reason you are doing this is to make your life better. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, Teacher Janica, for that meaningful scientific discussion. And thank you also to all our viewers and listeners for tuning in. Hope you learned something today. Again, this is your teacher host, Teacher Giselle G. Wong, saying God bless and keep safe.